there, this is Samantha Jayne and welcome back to another show of Coffee with Samantha Jayne. And today I have got the wonderful Fee, who has a beautiful business, and I really wanted her to share her story with you. So welcome, Fee, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, darling.
So I know and obviously love your work, but just for anyone watching, describe what it is you do.
Okay, so I teach performing arts, so I run a performing arts company, and I basically encourage beautiful young people to reveal their true selves and celebrate how unique they are, and I do that through performing arts.
Okay, and when you say beautiful children, what do you feel makes these children beautiful?
Okay, so that's a great question. So I work with a whole range of children. Okay. So I might have children that are really privileged, that mask with anxiety, they have anxiety and they mask quite a lot. Or I've got children who are really, really underprivileged or have experienced significant trauma. And I use performing arts to be able to help them either deal with trauma or to be able to accept and reveal their true selves and celebrate how unique they are, and not worry about the trauma. I can't say not worry about the trauma they've been through, but to help soothe the effect of the trauma that they've been through.
So it's not about tits and teeth then?
We don't do tits and teeth, darling.
Oh.
No.
I was going to audition. Okay.
Another time.
So what is it about?
Okay, so basically, because obviously working with you, I'm quite a spiritual person. Yeah. And that works for some people and some people it doesn't. Yeah. But I feel that young people are drawn to my company to tackle very deep issues that are within their lives. So many children that I work with are trudging through their little lives, or their parents, working with their parents see what they're kind of going through. And so there's a whole range of children. Another brick in the wall, Pink Floyd. Yeah. And that really gruesome video with the cartoon when they're putting children through a mincer to shape them into blocks to build this thing that we call establishment and they call it society. Yeah. Obviously there needs to be some element of that, but I feel that all children are not the same and we're missing a trick basically. If we really celebrate how individual children are and how wonderful and creative they are, we could live in an amazing world. It could be really, really fabulous. But children often experience, some children really experience massive trauma. As a young person, I'm 52 now, but I, as a child, experienced domestic abuse. Okay. And I heard everything that my mum was going through. I heard all the screams, I heard all the intense, dark, negative anger and trauma. How old were you then? From the ages of 3 to 7. Okay. And
it sticks, doesn't it?
It really sticks, it really, really sticks. And when, the NSPCC ads at the moment, and you hear that next door of the screaming and the shouting, and they say, please pick up the phone if you're worried. Yeah. And I was even speaking to my husband about this, and I said, this is normal sound for me. Yeah. And that was only
desensitized.
Yeah, and that's 4 years of my life. Yeah. Out of all of my life, but that stays with me entirely. And of course he was like, man, that's terrifying. But that's a radar for me. I can totally relate to that screaming. Yeah. But also a lot of children, but not all, a lot of children that go through domestic abuse also experience child abuse themselves. So I was sexually assaulted as a child, and that affects you from the age of 3 to 7, and that affects you throughout your entire life at different levels. Yeah. And I know that when I work with children, that I recognise this. I have children come to me who, gorgeous little people who, hair over the face, dark shadows under the eyes, looking at me through the hair. And I've got radar. I know that child because I can relate. I completely understand. Absolutely. But as a child, with the you know, the Beatles records, they've got all the lyrics on the back. I used to, and I was very, very short-sighted, and I used to put the lyrics down on the ground like that and sing out and pretend that I was on a stage in my head, and sing out with all the lyrics and pretend
during
where I was.
your abuse season.
No, this was after. No, afterwards. This was after.
Okay.
And I didn't know then, obviously, but it gave me a sense of release. It gave me a sense of empowerment.
Yeah.
And that's what I do with young people now, is I nurture them, I love them, to make them feel strong and empowered.
Yeah, because a lot of children go the other way.
They do.
Self-harm, drugs, other addiction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But you found music or performing.
Music, absolutely. Singing, dancing, drama. I mean, drama's amazing. We use role play a lot for as a sense of escape. The singing, I'm even finding that again myself, because as you go through life, it's like peeling off layers of an onion. You know, you and I have talked about this. It's like peeling off layers of an onion. And at the age I am now, even now, I'm like singing at such a level in the car. Don't care. To songs that I really relate to, and they're from my gut. And the power with which I sing, heaven forbid you see me sing on the motorway, but
it's like me then.
We're all doing it, the M4 corridor. But the energy and the release and the power with which I'm singing actually soothes myself even now. Even now. So I know, and the movement through dance, I know that physically moving your body, when you connect to the emotion in a song, it's the most wonderful release. I'm known for creating pieces of choreography that make people cry. I feel quite proud of that fact. But it's because I connect with people, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a really, really beautiful thing. So because of my experiences as a child, and having naturally come into performing arts, now as I've got older, I didn't come in thinking that this is what I was here to do. Now I know this is what I'm here to do.
None of us do. I've always joked, I never signed up for this knowingly. Do you think I would sign up for this? You know, do you know what I mean? It's like, we do joke about it, but I wouldn't change it for the world, would you?
Never. That's what I was meant here. That's what I was put here to do. I was put here to change people's lives, and I don't mean to say that with any arrogance.
There's no arrogance in that at all.
Because deeply, deeply, I know that my personal experiences will help other people.
Yeah, you're healing.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
But your tool is performing art.
Totally, totally. Without any of the ego, without any of the, like you said, tits and teeth. You know, it's
so
not.
You don't have what do they call them? Dance mums or something?
Oh man!
Do you ever have any of that go on in that area?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? There's a fantastic TV series about that.
It's addictive watching.
Oh, scary.
For all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. Yeah. But it's it's a wonderful, powerful privilege to be able to do that and to have that connection. And you know, I have young people just come to me who are so anxious that sit in front of me, and it's a beautiful little girl the other day. She was so frightened about wanting to be with us in this space, but was terrified, and a gorgeous mum was beside her. And literally she was like this, and all I did is I just put my hands out like this on her little lap. She's only 11, and she just, I don't know why do children do this? But literally she came and just put her hands on top of my hands. Now you see, you can't explain that.
No.
You can't explain that. But I was saying to her, you are safe, darling. Yeah. It's all right, you're safe.
Which is what they're looking
just be
for.
you. No pressure, no stress.
So she's 11. What ages do you work with then?
Oh, from 4 to 18.
From 4?
Yeah. And now we also help parents, because all the issues that came up for me when I became a parent, oh, that's a whole nother level. That's more onion peeling going on here.
Trigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And sadly, I got really bad postnatal depression because I didn't know what a good dad was supposed to do. What do I know? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what a good dad is supposed to do? And my husband is just off the scale amazing. But I didn't know what does a good dad do? I don't know. Well, I've only got one experience of a dad, and I'm certainly not having one of them in my life. Yeah. That was with my son. And then we had a beautiful daughter as well.
Yeah.
And I was terrified until she was the age of 7.
Okay.
Once she got past 7, I relaxed. Now, of course, there'll be lots of deep meanings behind that, of course.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to really talk about this because out of respect, for my beautiful children, I mean, they are 16 and 19 now. And my husband and my mum said, you really should tell them. And I was like, no, because I felt like I was giving power to my previous experience, to those experiences. I felt like I was giving it power. Mm-hmm. But actually, by not talking about it, I was still in fear. I was giving it power. Yeah. So I sat down and it was actually, I went on this amazing retreat. It's really funny. They call it a PR retreat. Where you think you're going to do PR. It has nothing to do with PR, honey. everything about PR, but so much deeper. Yeah. And we had to talk about how we ourselves are basically what we produce in our business. So I was like, okay. So I was dancing all around this subject. And then I thought I'd be really brave. And I was telling people about, why I do what I do. You've often said to me, why do you do what you do? So I'd talk about it. And then the beautiful feedback I was getting from people was, I'm just so stunned to hear that. I'm just so stunned. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, no. You appear as a kick-ass woman who's really got their act together and, really quite powerful. And I'm like, I'm just Fee. And, but they said, why won't you talk about this? And I said, because I've not told my children. Yeah. So I told my children.
Were they okay?
They were the most incredible. They are incredible humans, but their response was
How old were they then at that point?
Yeah. It was just about a year ago, so 15 and 18. Yeah. And it all made sense. Right. For them. It all clicked into place.
Yeah, this is the thing.
And they see me differently, with a different respect, I think. Yeah. And but the real key was within that retreat, there was a beautiful person I met who runs a fostering agency in London. And she turned around to me and she said, do you have any idea the effect you would have on young people if they saw this person, that I apparently present, and they wouldn't even have a clue of what you went through. Do you realise what an inspiration you would be? That whatever you're going through, darling, it doesn't have to be like this. And I say this quite a lot. It doesn't have to be like this. Yeah. And another lady there, Taz, she turned around and she said, when you were a little girl, would you have wanted to have seen someone like you and thought, do you know what? My life will not always be like this. I can be like that. Yeah. That was it. I was like, okay, maybe I need to talk about this now. So so it kind of makes people understand why that I'm not a franchise organisation or, like you say, a tits and teeth thing or anything like that. But I do what I do because I'm here to help. I'm here to make a difference. Do you find
parents talk to you as well? That they reveal they've been through abuse. I work with a lot of clients, adult clients, where when I'm doing my thing, who it turns out they were abused and no one in the family has a clue, and they're now in their 40s and But do you find you're having conversations like that with other parents of the children also have been a bit, do you know what I mean? Like
the cycle of it, yeah, that's right. Well, I'm an ambassador for Swindon Domestic Abuse Support Service.
Right.
So, champion. So often we don't quite get, not yet, you never know what might happen now, but we don't quite get down to the assault and abuse that adults have experienced as children.
Yeah.
But I do have a bit of a radar on God knows why, but I've become really quite brave in saying to parents, please excuse me if I'm speaking out of turn, because I can see what these young people have been through.
Yeah.
But you can't assume, I'm not that arrogant that you would like assume.
No. So
often I will say to parents, please don't think I'm talking out of turn, but has your young person ever experienced any kind of, I'll use the term domestic abuse because there are layers.
Yeah,
so I say domestic abuse and they're like, there's two things. One is either they will say yes, and I can then signpost them.
Yeah.
I've not got it wrong yet.
Yeah.
The second thing that is really quite common is they will say, yeah, the old one does, but the young one will never remember and they're fine.
That's not
This
true.
is not true. This is not true. You may perceive that, but it's within, and even within the womb, babies know. You know, there is an effect even within the womb. So I don't want to depress everybody, but it is true. You know, and that's why I'm delighted to be able to signpost people towards that area. So, and I'm doing my bit, getting people to sing, to dance, to celebrate, to have fun, to love and to laugh. There's too much seriousness, there's too much pressure in this world. People are labelled far too much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm about love and happiness. And my God, you know, I've been through what I've been through. I'm a very happy, successful person. And if I can go through that and be happy, then so can anybody else.
So obviously in your performing arts company, children are coming to you of all different levels.
Yeah.
There may not be, how should we call it, the most talented, natural born dancers, or like me, not particularly naturally talented at singing. So what makes it different to someone putting little Johnny, as I always affectionately call him, into, I'll call it a mainstream, I don't know what else to call it, performing arts.
Sure,
school.
okay.
What's the difference?
So, well, here we go, you see, get me on my soapbox. I believe all children are talented. Okay, all children are talented.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm a talented singer when there's no one here.
I bet you are. Give us a glass of wine, we'll be away. I believe all children are talented. It's just muscles and skills.
Okay.
That's all it is. You just need to channel it. So, but any young person that walks through our door, we ask to come and join us. So we don't audition. If they want a spotlight, a moment to sing in front of 500 people, we do it. We are totally about warmth, love and acceptance and being totally inclusive. So for example, you'll have, like, say, little Johnny come along to us.
Yeah.
He's 4 years old. He might run around like a mad thing. And we think that's great. Okay. And then we might put some music to that and create a dance. We might give him a microphone and he might be singing around. He might start rapping. He might start jumping up and down, whatever. That is a performance. That's celebrating how unique that beautiful young person is. We have, as you go through Revolution Performing Arts, we help young people progress. I don't believe in progression through examination. That's not what I'm about. Okay. LAMDA's great for some people, but we're about, if anybody wants to achieve something like that, we do Arts Award, which is much more about experiencing the art and being celebrated for it. So that's much more what we're about. We don't do examinations, we don't do auditions. And every single young person is accepted and loved and cherished.
So they don't audition to come in?
We don't do auditions, honey. And a friend of mine put that, well, she's now become a friend, a beautiful parent, and she said to me, she explained it so beautifully. She said to me, you take my child who is third sheep in from the left at the back and puts them at the front, and they get to sing, you know, a spotlight in front of 500 people. They may not be particularly confident, but they're desperate to have their moment, but people don't take the time. They may not be particularly good readers, doesn't matter. You say what you want to say, darling, because you have a voice, and what you say is important, my love. One of my favourite things is we might have choreographed an amazing piece. Little person will just run around the stage.
Freestyle.
Completely freestyle. I'm getting goosebumps. Completely freestyle. But the joy is just wonderful. It's just beautiful. Really lovely.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I just had flashbacks then as you spoke, sort of on an energy, emotion level of things that remain with us. So that experience, you know, you just said about being, what did you say, third sheep?
From the left, yeah.
Do you know what sprung in my mind of what that feels like to that child is when, if certainly for me, and I know for a lot of people, is, do you remember when you're at secondary school and they had to pick their people for the netball teams, and you're always one of the last two?
Me.
So I know that sinking feeling.
And the other thing that's just so amazing is not only in our outside classes, but within schools, it's beautiful. We have, you know, young people come to us in our little after school clubs in schools, and we'll put on assemblies in front of the whole school, and I get teachers come up to me who say, I can't believe they did that. I have never seen that. That's amazing. And they'll sing a solo in front of the whole school. That's like 420 young people often. And not only does that raise their status in front of their peers, which is incredible for them, but also everybody just looks at them differently and how they feel, and then what it does to their parents, and then the ripple effect is just incredible.
Because parents are often extremely anxious over these children.
But as I say all the time, you know, nobody, when they've experienced things, it's never the first time. Everyone has experienced something awful, or sadness, or anxiety, and we are not alone. We are not alone, and we need to look after each other, and just, you know, like I say, feel the love.
Absolutely.
Pass the tissues.
Is that okay?
So how would anyone get hold of you?
Okay, so on my Facebook, Revolution Performing Arts, and we've got a website as well, and we're on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, all the socials. But that's where you can get hold of us, and the website is revolutionpa.co.uk.
Brilliant.
All right.
Well, thank you for coming on
You're
today.
welcome.
Well, that is it today. I hope you have enjoyed the show. Drop me a comment if it has resonated with you, and if you have enjoyed listening to Fee's story. And as always, remember to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when the next show comes out.